So this finishes off pretty much the last of the interior framing. I'm now putting on the floor joists for an elevated hallway. This will actually be part of the bedroom loft, but we wanted it to only be about 4 feet from the trailer bed, 4 feet tall. So you can still fit like washer, dryer, and storage underneath that, but still have standing room as part of your bedroom. That is, it is a loft. It's not all just like crawl space, but you can actually stand up, get dressed in your bedroom, be able to move around, and then just have like a little step to get it onto your bed, which would be fully over the bathroom. So here's the floor. You can see that there's plenty of standing room up there, which we really like. So this here is another form of strapping. I'm going to be putting this right by some of our bigger headers just to reinforce them. It'll overlap the actual header by a couple inches, and then the king stud that it butts into by like an inch or so. I'll just kind of split the difference. This is one of the types of reinforcement and strapping that we're putting on this, because it is a mobile tiny house. It's a tiny house on wheels, so we need to be able to reinforce it, so as you're pulling it down the road, there's not going to be any chance that it could shift one way or another. These plates in particular just help reinforce the headers to make sure that they will be good and strongly attached to the king studs that they are nailed to, so there won't be any chance of them shifting. The main type of straps that we got is this coiled strap. It comes in a box, like a 20-foot roll or 25-foot roll, and you basically just unroll it and nail it to every single stud that you go over, which basically will, as you secure one stud to another here with this strap, it just makes sure that that wall can't rack back and forth. That it'll be nice and firm anytime that if there's like a jolt while it's being pulled or anything, that the house won't be able to shift. It'll just stay nice and firm. So that's the point of these straps. I'm now cutting a few strips of styrofoam insulate the foam board, and we'll be using to insulate all of our exterior walls. But now I'm just cutting a few strips down to 3.5 inches so that I can use them. I can slide them in between a couple studs for areas that will be covered up when I put on the sheathing. So I have to insulate them now, otherwise I won't have another chance to, and I don't want to leave air gaps. Since it is a styrofoam board, it does insulate very well, and also for my benefit, it also cuts nicely with a knife. So all I have to do is just cut it down, and then I can pretty easily cut chunks off to fit into each one of these sections. And I've got 2x4s in there as spacers, so I'm just insulating around the 2x4s and around the straps, and then any gaps that I have, I'm filling it with spray foam, which you saw in that can. I'm able to just spray it in there, and it fills up any of the remaining gaps that I wasn't able to get styrofoam into. I really should have done this before I started putting on any of the strapping, which is why I kind of paused here in the middle to do it before I forgot and put on more straps. So I'm just kind of shoving it in wherever I can, and now that I got that in, go back to finish putting up all the strapping that we need. It is kind of nice having it next to our garage here, because I'm able to just climb up on there. I don't have to use scaffolding or ladders, at least on this end. So it does make it a little bit easier, especially if I need to jump up on the roof. Okay, so I'm finished up the strapping here on our tiny house. We're about ready to put on the exterior sheathing to get it all done. But you can see that we had strapping going across all the corners, at least one point. And then I also went ahead and already insulated these because I didn't want to leave air gaps going up, so I put in some styrofoam insulation there, which would be the type of insulation I use for all of the exterior walls. So that'll keep those air gaps sealed up nice and tight. From inside you can see a little bit better the strapping that we've done. They're going across all of these walls here, so anywhere we could avoid windows, just to make sure that it'll keep the wall from shifting this way or that way, and all the corners to keep it from shifting in any direction, so it's all going to be stable and held nice and solid. So now we are ready to start putting the sheathing on the exterior of the house. So we'll be able to waterproof it all, and it'll make life a lot easier. I know strapping is a very interesting topic, but it was a decent amount of work putting this all together, and we're excited to have it completely ready for the sheathing. So you can see the start of us right here in the corner. We're going to put on the plywood all around the entire house. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and you enjoy the next video about actually enclosing the whole thing, and then it will really look good. So yeah, see you in the next video.